science fiction and Comic-Con go together. When we first landed on the moon, it showed us that anything is possible. And if the Soviets landed on the moon first, I would imagine things would be very different. When Comic-Con started in 1970, it was just after the moon landing, and it was this gathering which had comic books, costuming, science fiction.
It's such an honor to be a part of this Comic-Con world. It doesn't get bigger when it comes to sci-fi TV shows and comics.
Comic-Con is all about uncovering the unknown, and For All Mankind fits perfectly into that because it is uncovering territory that we haven't seen before.
The shock across the nation at this event is indescribable. Soviet cosmonaut has become the first to set foot on the moon.
The premise of For All Mankind is the Soviet Union beats the United States in landing the first man on the moon in 1969. And as a result, all of history changes.
The development of technology goes quicker, the social change is more rapid. Instead of seeing the space race decline, it is enhanced and accelerated.
Ignition sequence has started.
It is interesting to think about if the Soviets beat us to the moon, what the impact of this alternate history would be. If being on the moon, going to Mars was a part of our everyday life, then I think we'd look for something else in our movies and comic books.
The Soviets landing on the moon first might have had a huge impact on Comic-Con. Maybe we push the envelope a little bit more with science fiction.
Had the Soviets landed on the moon in reality first, maybe Comic-Con would have been even larger. Maybe we would be further along in technology. We would all be super nerds, and it would be incredible.
Comic books have always reflected culture. Spider-Man and Hulk stem from fears about radiation. The X-Men reflecting the civil rights movement. So I think the Cold War element of space makes the moon really fertile ground for comic books in particular.
I think it would have had lots of changes in Comic-Con and pop culture because there would be more science fiction and space-oriented comics and probably more film and television as well.
Would it have affected the original Battlestar? Probably, yes. Things might have been a little darker, and there would be this race. There would be this competition.
Maybe E.T. would have got the word that the Russians are more interested in space than anywhere else in the world, and that's where they would have gone to visit. Yeah, who knows?
Star Trek would have changed, and the original show would have definitely had a Cold War vibe to it. Klingons would be stand-ins for the Soviets.
Jamestown Base has landed on the edge of Shackleton Crater. How about that? We're on the moon to stay.
For All Mankind asks some very interesting questions, because if the Soviets landed on the moon first, the world is in a very different place.
The construct of having the Soviets landing first, you have to see For All Mankind. That's where you get the full impact.
Adversity is not always bad. Sometimes losing is good, and when we try harder, we do better.
Great storytelling has the ability to pull people in and ask the question of what if.
For All Mankind is just an exquisitely, brilliantly executed show that belongs in this world that Comic-Con loves.
Remember, we chose to go to the moon, not because it was easy, but because it was hard.